digital transformation, legal metrology. What's the business of legal metrology? Measurement with a subject to legal or regulatory control. And the purpose is to ensure fair trade and protections of citizens in areas such as safety, health, labor, and the environment. And the process of legal metrology involves type approval, initial verification, periodic verification, and market surveillance. All this process will be changed with the digital transformation. And what is digital transformation? It's hard to define digital transformation because the differences of points of view and implementation. But it's a strong force in the business, and the enterprise that has the best solution is the ones that will survive. Although it's difficult to define digital transformation, we can guess some aspects of it. There will be cloud service to integrate the data, and the users will be the NMI, accreditation bodies, and even the consumers. Advanced communications to connect device up to the end user, like 5G, LoRaWAN, and others. Intense use of machine learning and artificial intelligence algorithms to mine information from the data. And besides the current services that exist nowadays, the cloud should provide new service for the government, manufacturers, and the consumers. You can think that digital transformation is a new thing. But for instance, in Inmetro, since 2001, we have an integrated management system, SGI, to coordinate the activities of the 26 delegate institutes. In 2007, the system was migrated to a web service. There is a management of the data bank centralized in Inmetro, and even the use of mobile data collectors and small printers to provide access to the system for agents on the fields. SGI is a good case to study in digital transformation. It is used up to nowadays, and it's impossible to abandon and go back 30 years doing all the process in paper. But there are a lot of difficulties, like get wireless internet signal in all places in Brazil. And the system has to be maintained. A node interface or data bank structure could kill any project. I tell about the data collector, but it is a Pocket PC Windows Mobile, never ported to Android or iOS. There is no information to the general public, no way that the consumer use this system. Digital transformation is a hard thing. When you start a project, you must consider that you have to maintain the system, you have to maintain up to date, the technology will evolve and your system will have to evolve with it. So it's difficult to have a successful digital transformation. In Europe, Euromet and PTB are developing the European Metrological Cloud. It's something like SGI, but with 21st century technology. The requirements are quite a bit different, but the idea is to put all the process of legal metrology in this cloud. Some features of the project. Single point of contact. Only one platform to handle all aspects of legal metrology. In SGI, this feature is very important also. There's a lot of concern in guarantee the security of the process in the cloud, and also to guarantee the user authentication with the public key infrastructure certificate. Different from SGI, the architecture is decentralized. There are no central servers, but each owner of the data has full control of your data. And Gaia-X compatibility. Gaia-X is a data format in Europe. Another example of digital transformation in legal metrology is measurement instruments with cryptographic models. Inmetro has a project to put cryptographic models in Gas Pump and other legal metrological measurement devices. Why this? Many measurement instruments are controlled by embedded electronics and software. Almost nowadays, all equipment, electronic equipment is controlled by software. Frauds could happen in the sensor device, in the mechanical part of the instrument, but also on the electronics or even in the software. Inmetro has a large program to evaluate software for legal metrology instruments. The analysis includes the source code and the electronic software measurement devices. But this process is time-consuming and very intrusive for the intellectual properties of the manufacturers of the device. And what's the solution to improve this? Well, use the cryptographic chip to digital sign the measurement just after the sensor. All the measurement equipment is a sensor, some mechanical parts, and some electronic and software parts. But if you sign the measurement just after the sensor, you have to consider and evaluate only this block, sensor and cryptographic model. In this project, the Brazilian PKI Institute, ETI, developed a digital certificate metrological object for Inmetro. Using this model, there is no necessity to inspect the software and the hardware after the cryptographic chip signing the measurement. We have only to guarantee the sensor and the mechanical aspects. The first case of use is a gas pump. Why gas pump? Because it's expensive device, and there is a lot of fraud in this area. You can see in the figure, there is a transducer. This is the sensor, and this sensor outputs some data. Beside the sensor, just after the sensor, in a block, there is a cryptographic model. It's a small sheet with the certificate metrological object, and it signs the measurement. After that, the data, you don't have to inspect the CPU, any part, only the display, because the display will get this data and verify if the digital signal signature is valid. We could also put a Bluetooth or QR code generator or anything like that for the consumer with a cell phone, also verify the measurement. We could put also the price and some taxes information on this data. Of course, we have to continue to verify the equipment. There is a lot of mechanical parts of a gas pump up to the moment that the gasoline enter in your car. One aspect of this project, and probably many digital transformation projects, is a mobile phone integration. An app for mobile phone that talks to the Gaz Pump using Bluetooth or QR codes. We have provide basic, the must-have functionalities, but also some advanced functionalities for the consumers. The main thing, the most important, is to verify the digital signal time measurement. But doing this, you could send data to Inmetro and also transform the consumer in someone that is doing a big job of market surveillance. We present here 3 examples of digital transformation projects. One, the SGI of Inmetro, with a long time, hard time. Other one, the Brasil Metrological cloud, very promising, but starting. Another, the cryptographic model that is near to go to the market. The idea is to have some clues to the future. Although it's hard to foresee what is going to happen, we have some guess. One, digital transformation in legal metrology will happen. The market forces are strong for it. But many initiatives will fail. Some of them will bother the consumers for a long, long time. Large data banks, centralized or distributed, will collect almost all the legal metrological data. Cybersecurity will be very critical. In the European distributed model, many advanced technologies, for instance, blockchain or homomorphic encryption, will be necessary. And probably metrological data will be merged with other government data banks, raising concerns about privacy. Thanks, and hope to meet you on the workshop to discuss these things. Thank you.